34 years after it happened, the victims of Kansas City's deadliest disaster are being remembered finally with a new memorial. 114 people died when two skywalks collapsed at the Hyatt Hotel on this very day in 1981. And this morning, some of the survivors of that terrible night gathered for the memorial groundbreaking. On this peaceful Friday morning, it's finally time to remember.
The events of that night are burned in my memory.
A much different Friday 34 years ago, when a night of fun became one of the worst nights in Kansas City's history.
It was truly a night of horror.
114 people lost their lives when a design flaw caused two skywalks in the Hyatt Hotel lobby to collapse.
Time to time, we get to think about it, and it's not a pleasant thought.
Saul Koenigsberg joined hundreds of others at the hotel that night for a night of dancing and tea. Instead, he spent 2 hours trapped in the rubble.
I was very badly injured, and my wife went into shock. We almost lost her.
About 10 feet away, Barbara and Jerry Cosner narrowly escaped the collapsing skywalks.
Jerry said on the way out, people are going to die from this. It was scary.
Now, 34 years later, in the shadow of where it happened, Saul, Barbara, Jerry, and several other survivors are back together for a long overdue reunion.
We felt like we wanted to come out of respect to those who weren't as lucky as we.
2, 3. Finally, a groundbreaking for the Skywalk Memorial Plaza. Saul helped raise the money for it himself.
The memorial will help bring it back to consciousness, bring it back not only people who were killed, but the fact that the city came together.
It will serve as a lasting reminder of those who died and those who survived.
We were the lucky ones.
They certainly were, and that memorial should open this fall at 22nd and Gillum. The Skywalk Memorial Foundation, which Saul is a part of, has been working for 10 years to raise the money to build this $600,000 memorial. They still need a little more, though. To donate, just look for this story on KSHB.com.
Wants to know, is this the right time to build this memorial? Tara Hall here has been sort of listening and having conversations with people all day, and you found an interesting perspective on this.
Yeah, overwhelmingly, when we asked this question on Facebook, people said yes, long overdue. Now is the time to get this built so that the folks who were affected can actually have some closure. So here, let's take a look at what people had to say. Connie says, I remember walking that same skywalk a few short months before this happened. Many of us did. Thank God our lives were spared. But it's way past time to build a memorial for those who walked it that one fateful night and lost their lives. Jennifer says it's long overdue. That day was an unfortunate part of KC history, a day when our community rallied in the face of such tragedy. So I think overwhelmingly what people are saying is that they're excited to see this memorial go up, and it'll be a great way for families and friends who lost loved ones to be able to have some kind of closure.
And if you don't realize, the memorial, as Justin was just pointing out, has so many significant little nuances about it and names in certain places. So I encourage you as it gets built to get out there. And they still need funding. This is what took so long, the funding.
Yes, the funding. And so we've put Justin's story online as well as all of the stories we've done in the past several weeks and months on this. So head over to KSHB.com to check all of that out.
All right, Justin.